63 of class, and I'm going to get into the camera. This is Dawson. He's already taken world history. So you're not really a special guest. You're just in the frame for a minute.
Okay.
Good work, Dawson. Thank you. All right. So we're working on a research paper. And at this point, I think everybody has their opening. You have your thesis. You have your hook. But for people who need a little bit more reinforcement, people who are absent, so I wanted you to look at 5 parts of Chinese history. And the first one being the 4 great inventions. And there was the 4 great inventions. Fairly simple. That's the compass, gunpowder, paper, and printing. Now, from your Google Maps and on your phone to the GPS in your car, you're using the form of compass. The Chinese invented that. Gunpowder. When the Chinese invented gunpowder, this was taken, obviously, the firearms, and you can think about the wars that were fought with the weapons that used gunpowder, obviously a game changer in history. And paper and printing, from kindergarten to now, you were taught with books. You were taught with taking a piece of wood, grinding it up, flattening it, being able to make it white, putting ink on it from the loose leaf paper. It's got the red line, the blue line, obviously a game changer. 4 great inventions of China. Now, the second item was the Timecode, not tank, Timecode. Was broken out in 624 AD. This is the foundation of all Eastern law. Like Justinian's code was to the Byzantine, this is what it is to the East. Now, there's 12 sections, 500 articles, civil statutes, but to simple it up a little bit, the Tang looked back in their history and kept what was good and discarded what was bad. Much like Justinian's code, took what was good about Rome, discarded what was bad, and I'm going to call that intelligence no matter where or when you are. So that's the Tang Code. Now, the third item is the Great Wall, one of the great engineering feats in history. 5,500 miles in total. At some points, it's 45 feet high. You can envision a basketball hoop. That's 4.5 of them on top of each other. Absolutely enormous. Now, 1/3 of it is gone. Again, because it was started 2,300 years ago, some of it fell apart. The early parts of the wall, they used potato paste to put the bricks together. That's not going to last the centuries. And it ended with the Ming Dynasty in 1644. But obviously, the Great Wall of China, you think of the Great Wall, pretty synonymous. Now, the fourth item is Jenga. Now, Jenga is probably the greatest explorer in history, certainly the greatest Chinese explorer. And he did his thing from 1405 to 1433, and he had 7 epic voyages in the Indian Ocean. Traveled more miles than maybe any explorer in the world did at that point. He made the largest wooden ship ever. Jenga's fleet compared to Columbus's fleet was much, much bigger. And there were some crazy stories, defeating pirates, going to Africa and getting a giraffe, a lot of adventures too. So to a Chinese child, they know the adventures of Jenga because even though it's history, it sounds like fiction. It sounds like a movie. And then the last item I wanted you to research was the terracotta warriors of Qin Shi Huang. I apologize to any Chinese student who I probably completely botched that. My pronunciation, Chinese to English, doesn't always work. Largest ever burial site ever. And they only discovered it in 1974, which was a great year because it was the year I was born. And it was the year they discovered the terracotta army of Qin Shi Huang. Woo! Okay, and they haven't even excavated the whole thing. I have not been there personally, but my old student teacher, a guy named Mr. Peaches, he was there, and it looks like an airplane hangar, absolutely enormous. And there's 8,000 soldiers, 130 chariots, 520 horses, 150 cavalry life-size. What makes it interesting, they made each individual soldier with their features. It wasn't like an assembly line where they made them one after another. These were the soldiers that were protecting the Qin Emperor, and they worked on it for 38 years. And it's absolutely one of the more remarkable things. And every day they are excavating more and more and more. So hopefully the first part of your paper, you have your hook, your lead-in. China's been around for 5,000 years, a series of dynasties, mandate of heaven, inventions, that sort of thing. But your thesis statement should have been simple. I will focus on 5 areas of Chinese history: the 4 great inventions, the Tang Code, the Great Wall, the explorations of Jenga, and the terracotta warriors. And then that's your body. Tell me about those. And then your recap statement. Just say it one more time. Make sure I got the point when I read your paper, and then we're good. Dawson, you want to say goodbye? Coach Elam, you want to say goodbye? All right. Hey, Coach Elam, you've made my YouTube channel.
Right on.
I have 14 people that follow it, and I bet you 5 or 6 people watch this.
All right.
It's fantastic.
Like it said.
Hey, thanks, Coach Elam.
All right.